reading this book at the moment that I stole off my dad, and it's really good. It goes through the history of each room in the house, like kitchen, dining room, and bathroom, etc., which sounds quite dull, but it actually really isn't, at least in parts. And at the moment, I'm on the chapter about the bedroom. And I know you're all probably having a little giggle to yourselves right now, but you know what? Shut up. They're talking about Victorian views on sex, which in some points are quite laughable. For example, this is what men had to wear to stop themselves fiddling at night. I think that would do the trick. I have my favourite footwear. This is a trainer, which you might have worked out yourself if you're clever. This shoe and the other one, actually, I got from my mum when she went to Jordan on holiday and didn't take me. Not that I'm bitter. Yes, as you can see, it's quite cool, and I bet you're all amazed at how small my feet are. So that's that. My favourite Doctor Who moment, I'm going to have a think, because I haven't actually been following Doctor Who for a while now. I haven't watched much of the Matt Smith ones, which I know is terrible and awful, but I'm going to get back into it. I've said several times to my friends that I'm going to get back into it when the new series starts, so I've redeemed myself. But I always watch the David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston ones, so yes. Once I've had a thought, I will tell you what my favourite Doctor Who things are in the next cut, which will come now. My favourite moment has to be in the series with Christopher Eccleston in it, which I think is often overlooked because it was actually really good. And everyone thinks of David Tennant now and oh, he's so wonderful. And he is wonderful, but Christopher Eccleston was rather good too. So yes, my favourite moment is at the end of The Empty Child, which is set in World War II. And these things called nanogenes have seen loads of people wearing gas masks and think that's how they're meant to look. So they're going around making everyone have gas masks instead of faces, which is really creepy because everyone's just going around like zombies with gas masks and they look normal but they're not, and it's all rather freaky. And because they're looking for their real genes, they're going around looking for their parents, so that means they have to go around saying, "Are you my mummy?" Which is really, really scary and at the same time makes you want to cry because it's quite sweet. Because it's got like grown men with these gas masks going, "Mummy, mummy," and you don't know whether it's scary or really sad. But yeah, at the end, they manage to work out who is this original kid who got the original kid who got the gas mask face is going around looking for his mummy. And they find out that his sister is actually his mummy and didn't want to say that she was his mum because it would have been embarrassing for her. I don't know the reasons. But yeah, she goes up to him and says, "Yes, I'm your mummy. I will always be your mummy." And she hugs him and then his face comes back and it's all lovely. And yes, it's a bit of a girly, pathetic thing that I chose a tearjerker scene instead of an amazing action scene. But yes. Favourite episode, I would have to have two, I think. One of my favourites is Blink, because I just think it was just so clever and I really enjoyed it. Simple as that. And also it didn't rely on the Doctor as much. It was one of those kind of one-off things. I quite enjoy the episodes where like the Doctor is almost making a cameo and they give it to really minor characters to have their moment. I find that quite pleasing. And yes, and it will also spawn one of my favourite songs. I don't really have to say the name of it, I just have to say Chameleon Circuit and you will understand, because most of you will be nerd fighters like me. If not, it's called Blink and you should check it out. That failed, didn't it? That completely failed. The other one is Love and Monsters, which is another one where the Doctor is only making a real cameo appearance. And it's this guy who's seen all the stuff like the spaceships and things, and he wants to know what's happening, and he's like joins this club that all know that something weird's going on, and they like find a picture of Rose and he meets Rose's mum, and then they find this one of the best monsters ever, which is brilliant because it was created by a kid who sent it into Blue Peter. My favourite line is in the Dalek episode, again in the Christopher Eccleston series, where he is going through loads of old alien guns, deciding which one he's going to use to attack the Dalek, and he's going broken, broken, and he gets one and he goes, hairdryer. I just found that really funny. My favourite monster is Cassandra from the... She has an appearance in the Christopher Eccleston series and the very beginning of the David Tennant saga, as it were, because there were so many series he did. She's essentially a human that's had so much plastic surgery she's just a flap of skin, which just makes me laugh because we're probably going to actually have a Cassandra in a few decades' time in the form of Anne Robinson. It's the future. My favourite character is probably Donna, Catherine Tate's character, just because she was such a breath of fresh air after all the dramatic companions said, "Doctor, help me!" and she was just like, "Bugger off, I'll do it by myself." Or at least tried and failed. That's actually not true. A lot of the other companions did do their fair share of work, actually. Like Rose sacrificing herself at the end and nearly going into the vacuum to wherever at the end of her series. So really, I'm a massive dork. I'm sorry. Leave me alone. Some other characters that I just really appreciated them putting in were Caecilius and his family in the Fires of Pompeii episode, which was just really exciting for me because they're characters in the textbook that I use for my Latin lessons, because I've done Latin since year 6 and we use the Cambridge Latin course, and Caecilius is the main character and all his family members go on into the books afterwards, and they're the family that the Doctor and Donna essentially stay with and who help them. They even mention the Cambridge Latin course in the episode. At the end, they're standing on Vesuvius watching Pompeii disappear into the lava, and the Doctor turns to Caecilius and says, "Everyone will remember you." I get that reference! So that's my amazingly longer than normal video. I hope you enjoyed it, and nothing else for me to say other than